Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Enjoy this Goldylocks Productions presentation of the Joyful Findings Show with your host, Melissa Parks.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Joyful Findings Show. I'm so glad you guys could be here today on August 5th, 2020. I'm going to have a special guest today, and I'm so excited when she finally gets on there and pops on. Oh, she's popped over in the corner now. So, yay, we're getting it all to work. I want to welcome all of you all to my beautiful friend, Stacey Ericson, who will be talking to today about animals of humankind. I'm not humankind, I guess earth kind and mystical kind, right? The dragons and the unicorns are definitely coming in. They drew me a picture before I started the show today. I had all these squiggly lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 8 of them are here that I'm getting right now. And you'll probably be able to tell us more about that. So if you guys have any questions today about unicorns, dragons, the mystical creatures, I want you to speak up and ask, and maybe they have messages for us, maybe they don't, maybe we'll see what happens. We're just going to wing it today. So welcome, Stacey. Tell us a little bit about yourself, honey.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I ride horses, and so that's what got me connected into animal readings. And then from there, I started seeing unicorns. And then, of course, after unicorns, everything else started popping up, and it was kind of a crazy thing for me. But now I'm enjoying myself and loving that I can see everything. So it's a lot of fun. But I do want to tell you about unicorns today first, because they're kind of exciting. I know that the dragons are here too, so it's really fun. But the unicorns are all about the love. That's basically it, just unconditional love. And what I do is I see 3 unicorns with every single person. One represents, it's actually over the right shoulder of everybody, and everybody has it, and that represents your God source. And then the 2 other ones are, the first one that I usually see and talk to is the one that enters into the body with your soul that you have now, and helps you with the purpose of your being in this body today. And then the third one is, and this one's kind of cool, and this one doesn't pop up all the time, but every now and then it does show up, and that one is all about past lives and twin flames and just karma and things like that. So it's a really cool thing to have, and everybody has unicorns. Like every single person has a unicorn. So it's really, really fun to read everybody's unicorns and to see what colors they are. The colors are really important too. The body of the unicorn represents what you're working on in this lifetime. And then that's the color of the body. Say it's purple. And then the mane tail, those colors that are showing up in those usually help. They're like the tools that you use to accomplish or achieve what it is that you are doing here today. So it's really interesting and a lot of fun.
I love it. And they're so happy that they're here too, and that they're being acknowledged as well. Right? Because we don't often acknowledge them, right? We didn't even know there was unicorn readings until you actually read my unicorn like 4 years ago. And you're like, oh, it's big and it's purple and it's this majestic da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I can't even remember. And every time I see you now, I'm like, so what does my unicorn look like now? You know what I mean? Because I know they're always there, but I don't always see them, right? So that's a magical thing that you get to be able to see them and be able to communicate with them in that way. It's magical. I love it.
Yeah, they are. They're a lot of fun too. And always good. They always give you good news too, which is really, really nice, because in today's day and age, we do need good stuff to come through. So it's a lot of fun to know that we have backup, basically.
I know, right?
With these guys. Yeah. So do you want to tell you a little bit about some of the unicorns that I have read? And it's really interesting because I went back through some notes. There's, so if you do have the well, I've read a few, and each unicorn is very unique to the person. So, because everybody's working on something in their own way, depending on if it is unconditional love, the unicorn will be usually in a pink color, but there's always something attached to it, whether or not it's love for yourself, love for the world, love for some person, it all depends on what you're working on. But in this case, I have just a few colors. I just wanted to give you guys some examples. So one unicorn was bright blue with the silver mane, which the person was working on inner beauty, exposing to the world and reconnecting to the earth realms through fairies and other realms. That's the mane. The mane helps you reconnect to the earth and the fairies and other realms. And so this person was, like walking through nature and really connecting in with those guys. And that's what helped them, find the inner beauty to themselves. So it was really interesting. And then another one was bright orange with a pink neon mane. And that one was to create more love by putting up stickers and et cetera, which is kind of interesting. That doesn't usually pop up like that, but it was kind of cool, to like reminders of every single day. And the mane itself was outward beauty and love for yourself. So that was really fun too. And then the red mane, there's red that comes into the mane, and that's like important that everybody understands that red is very important to connect into yourself and to get moving. Red is to help jumpstart the person to move forward and to not sit still. So a lot of times people will have a little bit of red in there, because they need to do something with themselves, like say even build a shed in their backyard, to help them achieve, start a craft store or something like that. So it's really interesting how these guys do pop up. There's one other color here that I wanted to tell you guys about that was really interesting. It was right here. It's dark green, and it's a very soulful hurt being that's healing. And when they're healing themselves and past life karma. So these different colors are really important for us, as far as and it pertains to what we wear and how we act and all of that kind of stuff too. So these unicorns really are us, in our own being. And so it's a lot of fun, like I said, to learn about, what it is that you're working on with these different colors. And it kind of does give you an indication of why, you do have a favorite color, like you have on your purple today. So
is my unicorn purple today?
Yeah, she is gorgeous as usual. Your unicorn is so beautiful. And also the unicorns are really neat too, because they're, they always have some sort of sparkle to them, whether it be a candy coat, like if you look at a car and it sort of changes colors in the sunlight, they do that too. Also sparkles, little tiny sparkles and big sparkles, and some are opal colored, some are pearl colored. It all just depends on what it is that, comes through for that individual person. So yours is very sparkly today, like bright, and it's a very bright purple today, extremely bright. So, you're really tapping in. And the mane and tail are gold and white. So like we talked about before, for you, you go straight up to God. So source is, whatever you want to call it, however you relate to it is fine. But the white in the mane is all about that, is all about just going straight up to source without talking to anybody on the way up. And then the gold is for the actual love and healing of the earth. In your case, you're helping, once again, you're helping people, learn how to heal themselves and to understand how, all of this earth conundrum stuff that's happening right now is helpful to us. And ultimately, we are going to be just fine. And so that's so much fun too. And most of the unicorns too, I almost forgot to talk about this. There was one lady that had a unicorn that was flying. So it had wings, and that was really cool too. So she's all about going on trips and things like that, which, is kind of pertaining to flying, but also the discovery of, kind of like letting her soul sort of fly and discover life. And so that was really interesting too, that unicorn came through as well. So there's so many different things that can come through when you do read your unicorns, and it's so much fun.
It is so much fun, and it's so much to hear about it. And over here in the little chat box, we have everyone's like, hey, can I get a message from my unicorn? Can I get a message from my unicorn? You want to try to tap in and see if you can get someone's unicorn?
Yeah, actually, it's funny because even before I came on the show, somebody was like really, really into this, and I went for a walk on the beach today because I wanted to tap more into the dragons, because I'm not. Well, I love them and I do tap in with them, but the unicorns are more of who I find with people, because once again, they're with every single person on the planet. So there is somebody out there that's really interesting, and their unicorn is yellow. And it's it's really, really bright yellow. And so and let's see, what else is the mane? The mane is all about orange, like the okay, so we're going to talk about colors because this is really neat. It's hard for me to describe color. I want to get like little flashcards for colors so that people can actually get like an exact color that these things are. But anyway, so like Dunkin' Donuts, I don't know if anybody knows about Dunkin' Donuts, but they have the colors of the pink and the orange, and that's what colors that are in this mane of this one unicorn. Also some white in there too, and there is some silver. So with this yellow, what they're working on is just trying to find more joy in their life, discovering more joy about life, like and basically by doing this, they're finding that they have more belief in God. So they're asking God to help them with this. And they're also, or source, like I said, whichever one it is, that's the white and the mane. And then the pink is with love. Like they really want to feel more love with this whole thing, like it's an energetic love of being inside of their own body. It's really neat. And the orange is they're being creative with this whole process. And then the silver is all about, once again, being outside with the fairies and, discovering other realms and just trying to believe that everything is okay and really tapping in with them. Those fairies, by the way, will be talking to them on a regular basis if they do open up. They start off with like a little tiny, like, it's really funny. It happened to me. That's why I know this. I was sitting under a tree one time and it did happen to me. And I thought, what the heck is that? But anyway, and then they started to actually come through when I started just, relaxing into it and really thinking about what was in my heart. So anytime you ask with your heart is when you can really tap into just about anything, especially the natural spirits and especially the unicorn.
Totally agree. And I'm just going to say this. So if anyone's listening out there and this feels like it's you, just raise your hand or say, hey, that feels like me. So we can find out who Stacey was tapping into before the show, because it's funny, that always happens for me a lot of time. You know what I mean? Is like, I'll start getting messages before I even do it. And also giving the message, like when we're giving a message, sometimes it can relate to 5 people that are listening right now. As I had this gentleman call me a week or so ago, he's like, you answered my question before I even got to ask it. You know what I mean? So our higher self is just already doing all the work, right? And now all these creatures, right? The dragons, the unicorns, the fairies, everything is a part of something, right? And it helps us get more of the truth, right? Because I can even tell you this, that back in the day, my parents told me that fairies are not real, right? Fairies are not real. And it took me to get back into the spirituals part of everything to understand they are very real. Okay. And just like everything else it's all very real. It's just, we get down into earth and they kind of like shut our brain off and like, this is how it is. And this is the only way it is. And we're like, no, but we don't feel that. And all these little creatures are trying to talk to us and stuff, So it's like, it's so magical. Right. And it's just so magical. And this is helping connect in with everybody right now. Oh, so Lori Love says that sounds like her journey right now. So that sounds like you could have been tapping into Lori. Oh, Lori.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much feeling like does it feel like it resonates with you that could have been Lori?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yep. Red hair.
All right. Lori, Dunkin' Donuts. Colored.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Unicorn. I can see him now.
Orange. Put those colors in your bathroom. That's a lot of fun to decorate the bathroom in those colors.
Yeah, that would be kind of crazy. That's so funny. All right. So let's just tap into the unicorns a little bit more before we switch over into the dragons, because I'd really like to see if you can tap into anything for Tiffany, because she's our producer and we talk about dragons all the time. They show up sometimes. So I'm just wondering if you have anything for her today.
For a unicorn?
Yep.
Hers is blue, actually. She's got a blue unicorn, and it's really interesting. It's got like a lot of sparkles, and this is really cool for her unicorn. She actually has, and gosh, I just love these guys. It's so much fun. These symbols that are like coming through the coat of the unicorn. So it's almost like a hologram of like say, I'm going to use the peace sign, but it's not. It's more of ancient geometry that's actually coming through. But it's ancient geometry that's coming through the coat of the unicorn, and then it kind of blends back into the body. And it's the bright blue is almost like the Walmart blue, like that color blue. It's really pretty, almost like a centaur blue. Oh, centaur blue! Holy smokes, that's really cool.
Yeah. See how that just comes popping right out like that? Centaur blue. Now we have to look at that blue to see what it looks like.
Oh, yeah. She's definitely connected to Atlantis. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. This is all from, that's why she has that ancient geometry in the coat, coming through. So anyway, what she's doing right now, well, let's see. We got to get to the mane and tail, right? Wow, she's really tapping into a lot of stuff. She's very, very colorful. So her unicorn is basically every color you can think of is in the mane. Never seen one like this. Really fun. There's no red though, so that's good. But she does have the natural rainbow colors, which is really, really neat. And she's got the gold and the silver as well in there. So she goes straight up to God as well. But she does kind of test the waters on the way, just because, with the, what do you call those guys? I always forget, like the I don't know. But anyway, on the way up, like Buddha and Jesus and all those people.
She taps into everybody. She's like, bing, 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 and you're on the way up. Like taps in.
She kind of checks in, like, hey, how you doing? And has a good time with it. But she, on her way up, and then that's that golden light. And she actually carries that golden light around with her quite a bit. So let's go ahead back to the unicorn. So it's blue, and it's that centaur blue, which is really interesting. Once again, she definitely has a past life with the Atlanteans and the ancient geometry and all that kind of stuff. So she's really tapping into some old stuff. She's bringing up some old stuff to try to regenerate something for now, which is really interesting. And her unicorn also has like a silver glisten to it. It's almost like if you look at a car and it kind of like has that candy coat where it turns silver and then back to blue. And then the mane with the rainbow colors is that she uses the idea of acceptance of everything. So there's no judgment for her at all. Like she's not judging anything or anybody. She's sort of just staying open and recognizing that all there is possible. And then once again, she's doing it with love from God or source, whichever one you want to call it, in her heart, which keeps it clean and clear information for her, which is really interesting too. It's lovely. And then, with all those different colors in the mane, is pretty cool. Now her unicorn is actually male. So she's working on the attributes of male and female, which we didn't get into yet. So the attributes of male would be like, say, courage and strength and power. And that's what she's working on. She's working on standing in her power. Oh, got goosebumps again.
Me too. I got them, girl.
Yeah, we're on this one, huh? And she's working on that. So it's she's achieving it. Now, this is what's really cool too, is that when you do get your unicorn red, like especially this one, that's she's got a lot going on. We could talk probably for another 20 minutes about this one unicorn. But anyway, but what it does is it really does tell you that you are on the right path, that you are doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, because this is what you are doing. And this unicorn is her. So it's so much fun.
And you gave me goosebumps through the whole thing. And she actually messaged me. She was getting them too. She says, thank you so much. What a priceless gift. I am grateful. Aww. So she's very appreciative of that beautiful message that you just gave her.
For presenting that unicorn. That was amazing unicorn.
Right. I know. It's just amazing that you're able to, the energy of it, right, is just being able to tap into wherever they are around the world. You know what I mean? So if you guys ever want to get in touch with Stacey, for her full reading, right? Because she's just giving little bits and pieces right now. Her website will be popped up there. See, right there. See, I'm really getting good at this energy thing and getting it to pop up there, right? No, it's me and Tiffany working together. So make sure you guys check out raspberrylight.com and make sure you make an appointment with her to get more detailed information. You know what I mean? Because right now, I felt like it was very important in this time that we step into this. When I saw that, Stacey had done a little something, I was like, all right, I need to get her on my show. And, Spirit just said, and I listened, she's listening. So we're here for you now during this Lionsgate, right? So everything's in that change, in that shift right now. So any of this is going to be helpful for all of us as we move forward, because this new earth depends on us as we move forward, right? And we all need some encouragement, some empowerment to know that we're on the right track. Or maybe we are detoured and we need to go, we need to readjust something or whatever it might be to help us move forward, because it's a fantastic time to be alive, people. It may not always feel that way as we learn our lessons and such, but it's also, I can just feel the excitement from the unicorns and the dragons and all the animals on the other side right now. I think we filled everybody's room with all these animals and stuff. They're just like, hey, we're all here. You know what I mean? It's like party time. It's like animal party time. You know what I mean? So there's like all of them, just everybody, fishes, we got them in the sea, everything. So everyone's really, really cool. So actually, there's a question. Do you ever see or draw or paint the unicorns you see?
Yes, I do. I haven't done any colors yet of these unicorns, but it's really interesting. Melissa and I were just speaking the other day about what I do need to do is start with these pastels, because the pastels kind of help with the actual colors of the unicorns. There's the bright enough colors with the pastels. I'm not so much of a painter. I'm actually a builder. Like, I love to do mosaics and stuff like that. So, but with this, I do believe that, I definitely will start doing it. I was talking about maybe possibly writing a book. So we'll have to see if I can illustrate the book and all of that too. But yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the unicorn's eyes, you guys. So the eyes of the unicorn are, they're like 3 times the size of a horse eye. And I actually do have a picture. Can I get up real quick? I'm going to just walk up.
Go ahead.
Be right back. You go ahead.
I can chat while you're going. While she goes and gets the picture, I can chat. I want to thank you guys. I see a bunch of names over there I recognize. So I want to thank you guys for joining in and being a part of this show today. You guys are all fantastic. I can feel the energies really shifting up things out there for you right now. You know what I mean? So this is a fantastic time to be alive and make those changes you want to make now for the future you want to have. All right.
So anyway, getting to the unicorn that we were talking about, I did start to draw them, and this is one of them. I don't know if you can see how big that eye is.
You can see that. It is pretty big.
Yeah, so I am starting, but once again, I do need to get those pastels out and start getting the colors on them, because, wow. And they're so bright, and especially with all of the different body types and whatnot, I'm going to have to figure out how to get that candy coat color and all these other colors, integrated into the pictures. But yeah, it's really, really fun.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing those pictures with the beautiful colors. You know what I mean? And if I have to come hang out with you for a day to color my unicorn, I will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or just tap into my energy. We don't even have to be in the same room, right? We've already recognized that now. Energy is everywhere. So it's just like, all right, what does it look like today? So you're welcome. I know, it's exactly. And just tap in for that. So that's awesome. So let's do one more unicorn one, and then we'll start talking about the dragons. Barbara says, oh my God, could I get a message from my unicorn? Should I start a singing bowl music circle on the sidewalk where I live?
She's so cute. So Barbara's unicorn is green, and she is doing some healing with that green. And it's really interesting because her unicorn is 2 colors. So it has a deeper green in the lower body. So if you go across the unicorn from like the chest to the tail, top to bottom. So the bottom is the darker green, and then the top is this candy apple green, what color is that? It's granny apple green. That's what it is. So it's more of like a neon type of green, you know, it's really pretty. Actually, I have a color here. This right here is the top. Whoops. There we go. So that's the color of the unicorn at the top. But anyway, so, and then the mane and the tail are, oh yeah, she's got some black in there. That's really cool. And so she's got a little bit of black, some silver, and definitely white. So her, oh, and some pink. So she's got sometimes I forget how many colors there are. There's so many. It's fun. So, so anyway, so the darker green is her, that she's working on some old stuff that she's been working on for a while now. And it's really interesting because it's going down to the feet of the unicorn. And so that means that she's been working on it and now it's going away. So she's doing really well. And when she's doing this healing with the color, you know, this green color, she's actually using like some really positive energy to do this, you know, some really interesting different ways, like she just mentioned, you know, with the bowls. She's actually doing it with bowls. She's doing it with clearing her energy, but it's creative is basically what it comes down to. So she's doing this in a creative way, which is really neat. And then so the black and the mane, it's really fun when it comes to the black ones, because I was like, wow, you know, you'd think it'd be negative, but it's actually the opposite. What it means is that you can tap into negativity, but not have it stick to you. So like you could be a person that goes into, and it's not negativity in a bad way, it's just something that might not feel good to other people. So like a doctor, for instance, you know, they usually have black in the manes because they can handle the death side of life, you know, and they're okay with it. And, but it doesn't affect them so much that it puts them into like a deep depression and all that kind of stuff. So this lady's really neat. She can actually, you know, tap into other people's pain and whatnot, but not allow it, and help them with it, but not allow it to stick to her. And then the white is all about the pure soul. So she's using a lot of purity and cleansing herself on a regular basis with God, you know, or source. I grew up Catholic, so I always say God. But
you can say God. I said God, source, creator. I mix it up. I always use God, so it's safe here. We can use
it's
that.
Beautiful no matter what, right? And then what else did we say? We said, oh, the pink. She's doing it with a lot of love. She's really working on, you know, creating love. But her love is really interesting because her love is for like the entire planet and for herself. So it's like she's wrapping everything up into it all. And that's really, really, really neat. So I forgot the last color. Was there gold in there? I think there
was a little gold in there somewhere.
Yeah, there's some gold. So the gold with her, oh, that's cool. Oh, wow, this is really neat. So the gold with her is she's actually bringing that gold energy down, and she's using that for healing purposes, not only for herself, but for the earth and everyone with her. So I would say, yeah, definitely do the bowls.
I guess you're doing the bowls on the sidewalk. Yeah, just healing everybody as they walk by going, what are you doing?
Oh my God. Yeah, that'd be amazing. I mean, sound therapy, it's amazing for a lot of people, and it's really coming into to the world right now. It's a big deal. You know, I was actually looking at when they had this massive thing down here with the oceans in the Gulf of Mexico, which is because I'm in Florida with Melissa. And I was looking into, you know, what sounds, and I think it was C and G, I want to say. And, you know, the color is red and blue. And what does the two colors together create purple, which is, you know, divine. So it's really, really neat. So, yeah. So sounds also have colors is my point. And you're creating that color for healing purposes. So it's really, really amazing. The world's amazing.
The world is amazing, right? And the more we live in it is awesome. And I just have to say a few comments over here because Complicated by Design and who's Dia, who you know, she says, yay, write the book, Stacey. Awesome. Woohoo. And she also said the sketch is incredible. Fabulous energy. So people are feeling that even through the screen of you just holding up your sketch. You know what I mean? So just know how important that is as we're moving forward. Again, my new business venture that I have you all involved in, we'll be talking about later because it just becomes more and more important. You see what I'm saying?
Love it. I'm so glad we're friends.
I'm glad we're friends too. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And it was all because you came into our lives somewhere around the road somewhere. I don't even remember how we met now, but somehow we all kind of converged all in the same time frame. It was very crazy how you end up meeting parts of your soul tribe, right? Even though we don't stay in constant contact, it's like we met, we hung out, and then we did our things, and then we come back together again when there's things that need to take place. So this is fabulous. I love this, that you guys are tapping into this. So now let's give a little bit of time and energy to the beautiful dragons that want to join us today. What could you tell us about dragons, Tracy?
I got to tell you.
Why don't we call you? Okay, go ahead.
They're powerful. So right now, dragon energy is huge. And we were just talking about that the, what was it? The capsule that just landed in Florida, you know, the name of it was the Dragon. So it's so amazing how, you know, these guys are really stepping back into our lives right now to help us with this energy that's needed for power and strength. So the dragons are the keepers of so they're a realm by themselves. Okay, so I'm going to tap back into the unicorn just for a second so you understand that everybody has a unicorn, but not everybody has a dragon. So the unicorn is actually you yourself, like we described, right? That's what I see. Now the dragon, and they're all about unconditional love. Now it's not that the dragons aren't love either, they are, but the dragons stand alone by themselves. So they're not a part of like your soul being and who you are. They do help you with the journey to be here, but they aren't you. So does that make sense? I just want to make sure everybody understands that, you know, you are not a dragon unless you did come back as as a person. So anyway, so dragons they have their own realm. They lived, you know, back in the all times up until the medieval times. And Melissa and I, it was funny because I tapped in and the reason why they went extinct, the stinker dragons were the fire dragons, and they were just too powerful to be with humans. And so then the dragons were actually annihilated. And the last dragons, from what I get or understand, is around the Renaissance time. No, it's the Crusades time. So that was when the dragons were, you know, kind of annihilated, which is sad, but then they went into their own realm. Anytime anything goes extinct, from what I understand, and this is really interesting too, and I love this, is that they do go back into another realm and then they help from that realm. So like say a certain type of snake goes extinct, then it goes into that realm of where they are, and then they create the energy from that realm for us so that we can still heal the earth and whatnot. So the dragons are the keepers of the keys and codes. They help unlock a person or an idea. They're great for communication and understanding. And they also help with other things like protection if needed. They transform into any role they are asked. So if you need like a warrior or creative energy, very magical and a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, they're hysterical. And most dragons are so funny. They really are. They are definitely great communicators in that sense, so that they do laugh a lot and, you know, enjoy life. They're really, if I could say that, enjoy life. That's like so funny because they're on another realm, but they enjoy life. And so it's a lot of fun to have a dragon with you when needed. And you can call them in anytime you want to. Some people actually do have their own dragon that, you know, stays with them through their lifetime. And those are the ones that do a lot of communicating or need to help unlock people, like psychiatrists and things like that. Most of them have a dragon. Of course, we do too, because we're also helping with this unlocking, you know, of people and new understandings and things like that. So the dragons help us out too. So you do have a dragon. We talked about your dragon, and I have a dragon as well. And the thing with the dragons, though, and I don't normally get names on anything, but for some reason, dragons love to have a name. So
because I was getting, what's my dragon's name? That's what I was thinking while you were saying that. I was like, what's his name?
So I don't get the name of their dragon, but I do get that it's your dragon's super powerful, especially today. It's a girl. She's very feminine and stepped in once again with this very powerful feminine energy. It's really neat, but bring in a lot of joy to the world right now. And that's what your dragon is helping you with, putting a message out there of joy to, create love, and then more peace and understanding of what's happening here with everything that's going on. So, but the name of the dragon actually comes from the person. So they don't give me the name. So you'll have to ask her name.
All right. I will go into meditation later and ask properly for the name.
Yeah. See if she'll give
me. They yell it at me right now,
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Your dragon, it's really interesting because has a, it's so funny. She's going like this, she's rubbing her belly like this. She's really fun. Like I said, they're funny. And so your dragon's rubbing her belly like this because she wants you to recognize that her belly is bright like neon orange. And so she's really a neat creative dragon, with all this creativity and things like that. So, and bringing like a lot of energy with that. What chakra is the orange chakra, by the way? Because that's what I'm getting to.
That would be the sacral. That would be your creativity. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then that's it, because that's what she's pointing to now. She's like, it's down here somewhere. I'm not all that familiar with chakras and their purposes, but that's what she's saying. So that's really, really cool. Yeah, she's been with you through, forever. She goes, forever.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of feeling too. This is not our first rodeo.
No. And so the dragons are a lot of fun. So I want to talk about some other stuff with dragons. There's 3 different dragons that I've been tapping in to, and the one is the earth dragon, and that dragon is all about like family and grounding and peace. And then the air dragon, that one's really neat. That one's for travel and dreams and ideas. And then there's the water dragon, which is also connection back to earth again, but with more of it on the emotional level of things for emotional comforting and things like that. So my dragon is a water dragon. Yours is also a water dragon, which is really cool. I have a friend that's another friend that does healing work and through singing, actually, which is really interesting. And she is an air dragon. So the air dragon has the big, huge wings, the ones that are like way out there that, pretty much just swallow up that dragon's body because the dragon's so small. And then, it's not small, but the wings, overtake the body. And then like our water dragons don't really have wings. They have these like little fins. But they're still beautiful.
I see those little tiny things.
And then the earth dragon also, its wings are more, it does have wings, but its wings are smaller as well. So it's not really big wings. But yeah, so these dragons are just amazing.
That's so funny because I also have one of my feng shui friends on here, and she's figured out some of my feng shui, and they work with dragons and stuff in their feng shui. She says, Melissa, your career feng shui element is the dragon, FYI. See, I don't remember this stuff. You know what I mean? So even the dragon is working with me with the career, which makes perfect sense, right? Even coming from the feng shui side of it all. So, woohoo!
Oh yeah, that orange, like I said, that's the creativity, that's business, creative business, working out all of these different ideas and things, problem solving is really cool. That's another one that's orange. Orange is great with that type of energy as well. So, oh yeah, for sure. It's pretty amazing. So yeah, so these dragons are just, I actually started drawing, it's funny. I drew one dragon and it was just recent. I don't know how good this dragon is. I'm going to try to see if I can find it too. Hang on.
Go ahead. Thank you guys for joining us today. I saw someone did say a question. I didn't even know I could get a unicorn or a dragon. I didn't even know that was an option. I didn't know it was an option until Stacey said, I see a unicorn with you, 4 years ago. So, it's just like when you go for angel readings or you go to, someone that does fairy cards, there's communicating with the fairies. So we can communicate on so many different levels and in so many different dimensions or realms or whatever you want to call it, to get that information, right? It's like whoever we're attracted to most is going to help us And also in helping us to remember who we really are so we can make the direct connection to God, right? We don't have to stop at different realms. We can just go shoot right up, but I had to learn, right? Take the ladder. I had to go, all right, I got to talk to the fairies again. Then I have to talk to these guys. And then I have to talk to these guys. And then after a while, I'm like, oh, well, why don't I just take the elevator straight up, So this is all in ways of helping us to really understand who we are and our connections to Earth, to the universe, and to everything. So what'd you find? Did you find your dragon?
Yes. It's kind of embarrassing, but I'm going to show it, you guys, because I'm working on my drawings now. So be kind. But this is
they won't say a word. They'll love it.
Hang on. This is the dragon.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. What do you mean that's awful?
Yeah.
They're like, no way, that's beautiful.
I like happy things. She doesn't look happy.
I think once you give her colors, because I feel like she's a female, I think once you give her shininess, that's going to help her smile, because it almost looks like one of those little devious smiles. Like, you're getting it. You're getting it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's really cute.
Yeah. So I have to work on the smile of the dragons. But anyway, because I kind of like, happy dragons. But
see, and we got impressive. There's more power coming through. People are feeling that. So don't lower your standards of what you think other people are going to think already before you even show it, right? It's like, this is my work. This is who I am. Accept me for who I am. And if you don't, oh, wow. You know what I mean? Because you're getting lots of wonderful responses over here, even when you thought your drawing was awful. So you just know that you need to get See, that's her power coming through. So now it's going to start flowing. See, impressive. They're flowing up there. So this is all meant to be, right? And the dragons are loving this too. Because look, I got the goosebumps all over me right now. Because this is about us all stepping into our power. So, it's not just because Stacey can talk to them. You guys can all talk to them. I mean, probably while you guys close your eyes while you're doing this, you could probably tap in and either see both of them or one of them, and communicate with them. Just like I'm going to ask my dragon later what her name is. I'm going to have this long conversation with her. Now, let me ask you this, because when Christopher was little, he had this little tiny dragon, literally this big. She was like iridescent, multicolored. Like, that's the best way for me to describe her. I don't know what she looks like now. I haven't tapped into his dragon in a long time, but his is very colorful, playful. He doesn't want me to talk about that. Oh, okay. So anything from that at all?
So, it's really interesting because all of the little kids had so much fun, going back to the unicorns too. All the little kids, when you see these unicorns, because they don't want to overpower them, they are these little tiny, little things that are flying around them. And most of the kids have multicolored unicorns, or once again, he is the multicolored dragon. And that's usually just so that, because they're not prejudiced yet. They don't have any real judgment on anything yet. And once again, that color of the rainbow is really not, is feeling into no judgment. And so he just hasn't powered up the judgment yet. And so that's why the dragon is that. But it's also to help him with his journey through this lifetime. And that dragon is actually going to start turning and shifting into some other colors as, he grows with the dragon. And these kids, it always happens that way. And he's going to be a great communicator as he gets older, for sure. Like, he's going to really step into his power as far as using that dragon to help him, communicate with people and helping them understand, the messages that he's bringing forward. So it's really interesting. Yeah, it's fun. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Because it's like, why does mine look like it feels like the earth, right? Because I feel like I just I'm on it or whatever, I feel like it takes up a lot of space. And his was just like this little thing. So yes, that does answer. It makes sense because, right, you don't want to overpower them with this gigantic thing, because then that creates fear, and they don't want that at all. Right. They don't want to create that fear.
No.
And here's another good one. Stacey is amazing. Love her. So you're just making a great impression out there with these people, with these messages. So see that? I love that. And we love that you guys are tapping in today, and the dragons and everybody else, the unicorns and everybody else are also very happy that you guys are here, because this is helping you with the energy, even just the energy of them being in our presence today, in this video, in this whatever, even when you watch it in the archive, you can feel it. You can feel the transformation. I can feel it on the outside of my body. I can feel the energy of the love, the compassion, the truth that's within them. So I hope you guys are feeling this as well. Woohoo! Yay. So is there anything else you would like to share about the dragons? And then maybe we can tap in, and maybe someone has a dragon out there that we should maybe tap into.
There is actually, well, once again, we could talk all day about dragons at all. You know, there's so much to, so let me just reiterate something really quickly so people can kind of understand like what the dragon medicine is for. So, the dragon medicine can be used for anything pertaining to the person or the person's possessions, protection, more energy, vitality, security, even courage. They help us with creating action. So like the unicorns were already doing it, but the dragons kind of like give us like that little like push, you know, into like say you're learning to swim and you're still a little fearful, and you know, they kind of push you into the water and say, hey, you got to do this. And so they're really cool for creating energy is basically what it comes down to, you know, so the movement of energy. So you can call on them anytime that you need to have energy or to move forward or have anything that's going to help you with and even courage and stuff like that is still energy. You know, you're placing energy into this. I do have to tell you that my dragon actually sat in my house in Florida when I was in Ohio and protected my house. And so that was really, really cool. She stayed inside and, you know, was here because the house was abandoned for a short period of time. So it was really, really interesting, you know, and when I got home, it had like still that great energy and great feel. And so she was here for that. So once again, you can ask for anything. The other thing is that dragons also, they can be little, like we were just talking about, or huge. So your own dragon can, you know, it can morph into whatever energy you need. So say you need a lot of courage, then it's going to be huge. You know, if you want just a little bit, you know, like say, okay, come on, let's do this. But, you know, I've got most of the courage, but if you could just help me with it, then you only need a little bit, then it's going to morph into something a little bit smaller. So it's really interesting how they like change shape too, you know, to create that energy around you so that you can have whatever it is that you desire at the time. There's also two dragons, and I'm not really sure, and I do need to tap into this more, and I will for sure next time if we talk again about dragons. But there are two types of dragons too that I've been learning about that even though you have your own dragon, you can call in these other dragons. And the two that I almost always see, and it's really interesting because most dragons are, you know, the darker colors with like an iridescent coat, almost like a fish type of thing, you know, where they glisten. They're so beautiful. But these two dragons always show up, you know, when there's like something needed, and it's a red dragon and a yellow dragon. And you can imagine, you know, the red dragon is there for energy. So like say you've got something that's stagnant in around your property or something like that, the dragon can really help energize that area. And if you ask them to come in, the yellow dragon is for joy and also for a sense of peace, but in a loving, happy way. Like it's really interesting. Never seen a pink dragon. And pink's my favorite color. But for some reason, never seen a pink one. I've always seen yellow, and yellow's been associated with that for what I've identified with the dragon energy. So it's so much fun. Once again, color comes into all of this as well. You know, color is so important in our world these days, and it's really neat. You know, people start to step up and really take notice of the colors, then you can learn a lot more about yourself, about, you know, your parents or whatever too. My mom loves green, and so she's always healing, you know, or wants to be healed, and that's her thing, and she likes to heal people. So it's really interesting how she uses green a lot in her house. So anyway, you can learn a lot through colors. You know, you can learn about people through colors too.
You can. And the color spectrum, right, is like, Dia and I were talking about this a couple days ago, or maybe last week, because she says, is this because we're bringing in the new spectrum of light, right? All those colors, right? Where I feel like all those colors are coming back into our existence so we can see them in their true form, not diluted, if that makes sense, right? Because like when you saw the orange, it was like neon orange. It was like, it was bright, you know? So it's like we're going to be able to see things much more vividly and much more clearly clearer than we have in the past. And I feel like a lot of the codes that they're helping bring in, right? Because you said that the dragons are key codes, are codes and key holders, right? Which is so funny because I am a key holder, okay? And I don't know exactly what all that means yet. But whenever I go into meditation, I always end up with another skeleton key. Like I have this ring of keys, like a big ring of keys, right? And I don't know what they all go to, but somehow I know what they all go to, right? So it's kind of funny that they're the key keepers or code guys. And how do they get that codes to us? Do they just send it to us like as do they come around us? Well, I know they come around us, but do they come around us and they energetically give it to us that way? Is it a gentle reminder? Is it just a code that comes in through some of the energy that might be happening? Just curious.
Yeah, no, that's a great question because they do most of the time. What I've noticed for the dragon is there's two different ways that they help us communicate to people. One is by our actions, touch, feel, that type of thing. So like say somebody needs a hug, nowadays, of course, this is not appropriate, but in the past, if somebody needed a hug, you gave them a hug and they were like, oh my gosh, they felt so much better. I'll give you an example. These people actually found a bottle on the beach, and it had all of these little letters inside the bottle they called him Pop-Pop. And they said that his hugs were magic and healed everybody. So that was something that he had as, a gift. And I'm sure then he probably had dragon medicine to help him with that. The other way too is for the keys and codes of speech, so communicating with your words. Some people, they need to hear like a certain word, like some people think that, if you call them beautiful, they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And some people are like, yeah, beautiful, whatever. But if you say, oh my gosh, you look gorgeous, well, then that's totally different. That person lit up now and they're like, oh my gosh, you're right. I am gorgeous today. So it all depends on like which word resonates with you and kind of unlocks you, for that moment in time that you are, or your experience that you're having at that moment in time. So that's how they kind of communicate with us and help us with these things. It's intuitive for us as well. So at least that's what I've been noticing with them, is that's how they work. So it's really it's a lot of fun, and they can move stuff around too, which is a lot of fun too. When you get a pretty powerful dragon, they can get some stuff going, energetically. It's really interesting.
It's like an energetic boost of, whatever size that you need. It's like, I love that it's like, adjustable, right? If you don't need too much, they're not going to give you too much. They're going to give you the exact amount every time. And I think that was maybe a lesson that they had to learn from way back when, right? In self-control, maybe, I don't know, but we still love them all the same because they're here to help us and to help us to really move forward, right? Because just imagine, I'm getting goosebumps now, so just let me know how this feels with you. Because just imagine we kind of correct everything here on Earth and we kind of go more into our 5D. Do you feel like more of our mystical friends will actually start showing themselves? Because I'm getting goosebumps that they will.
Yeah, I do. I feel we're going to, wow, it's insane how much, because the veil has gotten so much thinner. So even now, the acceptance of, say, dragon energy and unicorns and all of that kind of stuff are coming through. People are actually starting to really open up, even with animal communication, and recognizing that animals have their own spirit and souls and things like that as well. So absolutely, I believe that they'll start showing up. But I believe that it's not going to be it'll still be that energetic way instead of like, the actual solid side of things. Because I feel that maybe not in our time, but maybe in the way future they will again. But now I think that the energy of them is what really needs to come through to help people really get what they need. So I feel that, yeah, they're showing up already. But the more you accept something into your life, the more, it's going to present itself.
And that's true, because if you say, no, that doesn't exist, right? If you block it out and say that's not true, it's not existent, then it's not going to be, right? Because it's what you believe. But if you allow that belief, just like I said in the beginning, I was taught that fairies weren't real in the beginning, and now, it took me, doing this work to figure it out that they are, you know, that we were misled, right? So now it's like we're starting to really tap into all of our truths, you know, the dragons, the unicorns, the fairies, everything on every different realm that we've visited, right? Because I feel like we've had lives all over the place, so they could be in those realms as well, right? Because we want to experience as much as we can experience in this soul that we have that lives for eternity. So there's always to learn. And now, with all of this taking place on Earth, it's fantastic that they're like zooming in and they're really helping us. And if you guys feel like you need extra protection, because I feel like some of you do out there, depending on where you are, call dragons into your city to see if that doesn't help clear it up, right? I call in, you know, so like just call them in, and I call in past, present, and future, right? Of all beings to help assist in that, whatever it needs to be assisted in. If you feel like it's too violent, call it in to calm it down. What needs to go in there to calm it down? What needs to go in there to help wake people up? You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's happening as well. So this is fun stuff, Stacey.
Yeah, if they add a color to it too, then that's going to bring that energy even more into existence. So when you do want to call, say, on a color, then a dragon, ask it, you know, for to be a certain color. So if you do want, say, peace or love, you know, ask for that big, huge, beautiful, you know, pink color. That's that bright pink. That'd be great. Or even like to calm things down, yellow is awesome because of the joy side of life. So, you know, whatever it is that you want to bring in, you can definitely ask a dragon to step in with and be that color to, or exude that color in some way, for sure.
See, all we have to do is ask, right? And that's a hard thing we have a hard time doing too as humans, right? We have a hard time asking for help, not even just from humans, but our angels, our guides, or any of the people that, or beings that are on the other side, right? We forget to ask sometimes, right? And it's like, you know, I could use a little assistance here. I don't know what kind of assistance I need, maybe, but could you assist me so I can move forward with this project or this breakup or whatever it might be that you have going on in your life, right? Because it could be something new, or it could be something that you're trying to end, or something that you're, you know, newly creating. So there's a lot of things to be asking for. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, the unicorn horn, by the way, just as an additional thing, you can ask your unicorn to point its horn. Say you are going through a breakup and you feel like you have that broken heart. You know, the unicorn can come in and help heal that part of your body, as well as any other things that are working, you know, tumors, anything like that, anything that you've got going on health-wise that you want to try to heal yourself with, you know, you can definitely use unicorn medicine for that as well. And how you do that is by asking them to point their horn at, you know, that part of your body, and they will send that loving energy right to it. And love heals everything. So, you know.
Love does heal everything. And it's so funny because I can see them kneeling their head down right now with their little horn going, it's right there. You need to heal that right there. You know, so everyone's going to be tapping into their unicorns this week and going, where do I need to be healed? I hope we get lots of pictures and stuff. That would be cool. You guys all start drawing this week, you know. That would be fun.
Names too. You can get the name of your unicorn too. The best place to ask for names of any beings that are around you is in the shower. Usually,
this is true.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. That's when I get most of my messages, even before my show, or if I'm going to do a reading with someone, I'm like getting all the information before I'm even with my client, because I'm being quiet and they're so chatty because they know what we're going to meet. They're giving me all the information and I'm like, I need this later. I'm not going to retain this for later. You know what I mean? But they're like, but I want to talk to you. So yes, listen while you're in the shower. You get great messages while you're in the shower. You just have no idea.
I know. Sometimes you go, what is that? You know?
I know. And that's where I'm like, well, I have no pad and paper to write this down for later. Or I should just say, I should probably bring my phone in there and go, hey, Siri, remember this, or whatever. You know what I mean? As Siri just came on my phone trying to remember. Which is so funny. So Stacey, tell everyone how they can get a hold of you if they would like to get in touch with you for a reading or anything they might desire.
So I do have a website. It's called raspberrylight.com. And the readings can be done through Zoom or something like that, if it's a personal reading or unicorn reading. And then the other readings that I do for animals, if you want your animal read in any way, you just text me a picture of your animal with its questions, and we can definitely get some really good information. Animals are really neat too. They share a lot of wisdom just like the unicorns and the dragons. And they can actually give you prophetic messages. They can give you health messages. They can give you anything, actually. They're really connected, especially now, once again, like all things are connected. So they're really good at connecting in and giving us these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful blessings and messages.
Yay, that's awesome. So you make sure you check her out and like her Facebook page. She has a Raspberry Light Facebook page too that she'll be posting stuff on there as well, I feel. She'll be stepping up into her power and helping you all out with your unicorns and dragons. I look forward to you guys reaching out to her. So I want to thank you, Stacey, for being a part of the show today. It's been fantastic. Great energy. And like Christopher wants to say his little dragon part, whatever. So yay. Thank you for being here. And I want to thank everybody for joining the show today and for being a part of this magical energy. Tap into your dragons, unicorns, and all your other animals and all your mystical beings and who you truly are. And truly tapping into your higher source and going forward with grace and love in your heart as we create this new earth together. And we're here to help each other. So God bless us all and let's move forward. Love you all. See you next week.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Become a Goldylocks Productions VIP patron. Receive exclusive access to live stream special and other epic perks. Join the Goldylocks Productions VIP community today.